Today, I'm going to be talking about vacations and traveling and holidays and what that means for our pain. Okay, so in case you're watching this on the replay, today is July 5th, and that means that yesterday was Monday, July 4th, Independence Day in the United States. And so this weekend was a long holiday weekend for many of us. And for many of us, that can mean that pain levels are up, fatigue is up, brain fog is up. And so today I'm going to be going into this topic a bit more. So if that's you, and if you feel like you've noticed that you're feeling more tired, more sore, more achy, more tightness, maybe your sleep is off, during these times around holidays, when you're traveling, when you're vacationing, when you're having people visiting or your friends are over. And if that's you, you're going to want to stick around for this topic today. So now, if you don't know who I am, if you don't know me, if you're new to my world, I am Alyssa Wolf. I'm a chronic pain specialist, and I'm the founder of the Chronic Pain Breakup Method, which is a 16-week program that helps you to beat chronic pain naturally by teaching you how to address the changes in your nervous system. And you may or may not know that I have actually moved last week from Iowa to Texas. And during the past week, I have been unusually tired. I have officially been here in Texas for a week. And while I can say that I'm totally happy to be here, I'm happy to be down here. I have all the amenities that I need, but at the same time, something for me has felt very different. And what I mean is I mean physically. I mean physically different, mentally different in my body. I feel off, and I've been unusually exhausted, and I've been feeling more and more sore and achy and stiff than I usually do. And while it may sound like I'm complaining a little bit, because I have all of the amenities that I need, I'm getting the right amount of sleep, all that good stuff. So on paper, it seems like there's no reason that I should feel sore, achy, stiff, tired, exhausted. It seems like there's no real reason for how I'm feeling. And to anyone listening, it might even sound like I'm complaining or over exaggerating, like just suck it up. Everyone gets tired from time to time. And of course you just moved, of course you're tired. But what I can say is moving for me is exciting. This was something that I had been preparing for and looking forward to for some time. Moving is a good thing for me and my family, but moving for me involved some really big changes. It meant that I was not only traveling by plane with my toddler, it also meant being apart from my husband for a few days, being without my own car for a few days, sleeping in a new bed, losing my nanny, who helps me with not only watching my son, but also helps me with household chores. And in case you didn't know, right now for me, I'm actually staying with my parents, which means that my routines are all off. Okay. Before I moved, I would wake up at the same time every day. I would do the same series of tasks and activities in the mornings and evenings. And I had certain times of the week set aside for fun activities, for socializing, for running errands, and for my health activities and fitness and things like that. My life just in general had a certain rhythm, like my weekly and daily lives had a particular rhythm. And I didn't really realize how important that rhythm was until I got down here in Texas, because now that I'm staying with my parents and my morning routines are completely thrown off. I haven't yet found really that rhythm for how to operate, or how to coordinate my household chores, my meals, my workouts, and things like that. And while I have all of these amenities that I need, I simply haven't gotten to a rhythm yet to feel at home and like things are operating smoothly. And so for the past week, because of all that, I've been unusually tired and sore and achy and stiff, right? On top of all that, right, this past weekend was a big holiday weekend, right? It was Independence Day, 4th of July. And so my father-in-law was here visiting, helping us get settled in. So we had company, which in all aspects is a very positive thing, right? I'm in no way complaining about my father-in-law visiting, but having visitors can take a toll on us physically. You see, we don't really often realize or acknowledge the toll that these really positive, really happy things like holidays, vacations, traveling, or having visitors, we don't really acknowledge the toll that that can take on us physically. Like these are all really fun, positive things, but oftentimes they're associated with periods of increased fatigue, increased pain, increased stiffness, increased soreness. And the reason that is, what most people don't realize is that the reason this happens is because the nervous system is having to process more information. It's having to deal with more because of the changes in the routine, because of all the changes that are happening. And the nervous system thrives on consistency, right? It thrives on routine. And when we deviate from that routine, from the consistency, our nervous systems don't really know what to expect, and they have more to process overall, right? Our nervous systems crave consistency. And so that is why some of these really positive, fun things like traveling, like vacations, holidays, having visitors, hosting parties or dinners or whatever, these things can take a big toll on us, on our energy levels. And so here's really the big key. As the nervous system has more to process, with more change in the routine, with less consistency and less predictability, with more information to process, the nervous system has to work harder to process new information. And with change, it is going to feel less safe. The nervous system is going to feel less safe. And with more information to process and less predictability, the body naturally is going to put up its defense mechanisms, right? Pain is one way that our body has to communicate with us. So your nervous system will turn up the sensitivity of the pain alarm and make you feel more pain, more stiffness, and undoubtedly make you feel more tired. Your ability to fall asleep or even stay asleep may even be impacted. Your digestion may be impacted. Your mood may be impacted, and even your memory may be impacted. And that's all because with these shifts in our routine, with even these small shifts in routines, the brain has more information to process. It has less predictability and therefore requires more energy. And so requires more of that brain bandwidth. And so more of that's being taken up, and thus in this process of processing through this shift in this routine, in your routines. So for me, when I look back at my past week and I think about why I might have been feeling so tired and achy, and my mood was low, and I just wasn't feeling like myself. At first, I thought I was just being moody, like I was being emotional, I was being dramatic. At first, I thought I was sore because maybe I had been sitting with bad posture. At first, I thought I was so tired because maybe I wasn't getting enough sleep. And ultimately, that really wasn't the case. This past week was so incredibly filled with newness, with changes in my routine, big shifts in the rhythms of how I do life. And so, no, it didn't have to do with what I might have initially thought. It had everything to do with the nervous system overload. And the same could be true for you. If you have more pain when you have these small shifts in your routines, especially around holidays, around vacations, around traveling, or around having visitors, right? Those shifts in the consistency that your nervous system craves is what's causing that. And so if that's you, one thing that I want you to think about is this. First, I want you to stop looking for excuses as to what you did wrong that might have caused you to feel this way, right? Like stop blaming yourself for not eating right, or not sleeping right, or not lifting right, or not moving right, or not sitting right with good enough posture. So stop blaming yourself for doing something wrong and looking for ways that you might have screwed up. Remember that your nervous system has to process every new thing and every little shift and change. And so this is your nervous system trying to process these changes. It's not that you did something wrong. And second, the best thing that you can do to get back to your baseline is to get yourself back on a routine, or get yourself onto a routine if you didn't have one from the beginning. Like I said, your nervous system, your body is craving consistency. It wants to feel safe. And one way you can do that is by providing it with the most consistency possible through routines. So as you go back into your normal life after this long holiday weekend, or after you get back from a vacation, give yourself permission to feel a little bit off for a few days as you, as quickly as possible, try to get back to your life, get your life back on track, and get back on a regular routine. And this is exactly what I've been personally trying to work on this week and in the next few weeks as I get settled in. And this is something that is a really important element that I teach in my program, the Chronic Pain Breakup Method. You know, we talk about all the time about how when you're in pain, it's linked to being stuck in a state of fight or flight, right? And so we need our bodies to be able to shift into rest and digest mode. And so routines is a really important element to solving the pain problem as part of that. So in my program, I help my clients design their own routines and build their own pain management routines around their lives so that they can be more consistent and start feeling better. And unfortunately, this is not the only thing that's necessary to beat chronic pain, right? Like giving yourself consistent routines is going to make you have more energy, and it may even help you feel less pain, right? But it's not going to solve your complicated problem with persistent pain. That process is complicated and layered, and you need additional support and guidance and education on how to get there. And so if I could solve your pain problem in an hour on a live training, or on a live call, or on a live event like this one, I would, but I can't, right? Like I can't solve your pain problem by sharing a few simple, quick tips on a live or on a webinar or on a post or in a blog article, right? Believe me, if I had the magic wand, I would use it, but pain doesn't work that way because it's complicated. It's a complicated process, but it doesn't have to be hard. In my program, I'll help you walk step by step through what you need to do to start retraining your nervous system from the bottom up by retraining the changes that happen in your peripheral nervous system, and also from the top down by retraining the changes that happen in your brain. And I'll show you also additional strategies that will help enhance your nervous system's ability to change for the better. We'll work on your sleep, your routines, right? The way that you move. We'll work on the way that you exercise, your understanding of pain and what's going on in your body. And we'll make it work in your life. But like I said, I can't do that for you with a few simple, quick tips or on a live online training. Only you can make that decision to move forward with your retraining your nervous system. And I promise I'll make it easy for you, and I'll walk alongside you throughout the process so you never have to guess, right? Okay. And of course, before you can even implement any of those quick tips, you need to know if this is even the right approach for you, because you might have pain, but I can't tell you if these tips will even work for you if I don't know why you have pain or what you've tried or how your pain is affecting you. I can't give you any practical tips or strategies to help you until we get that far, because otherwise I'd be actually doing a disservice to you, because you probably try a quick tips, try something else and fail because you don't have the right information or the right support to be successful. And if it's not the right thing for you, it could even end up making you feel worse or making your problem worse or bigger. So before I can give you those practical how-to steps, we need to have that kind of conversation. So let's have that conversation. I'd like to invite you to set up a complimentary call with me. I do 45-minute telephone calls. We'll chat and I'll be assessing you to find out where you're at and where you're struggling with, so that I can then give you clarity on what I think you may need moving forward. And to do that, I'm just going to leave a link in the description of this video where you can then jump right in to my calendar and find a time that works for you to set up your free phone call. Like I said, the call is free. There's no strings attached. I'm not going to pressure you to buy anything. I just only work with people who I know will get the results with my approach. And so if you are that kind of person, if you have that kind of pain, then I'll offer you a spot in the program. But if it's not a good fit, I want to let you know that and help you take the next steps you need to start moving forward and solving your pain problems. So let's get you set up with that call. Click the link in the description. That's all I have to say for today. And until next time, we will talk soon.